everybody, Laura the Librarian, TGIF. Today we are going to talk about book clubs and sharing books with your friends. These are both amazing things to do. Lots of books come with a reader's guide at the back. There we go. Questions for discussion. And this is Little Mercies by Heather Gudenkauf. And so these can sometimes help spark your conversation. They often include an interview as well, with the author talking about some of the topics covered in the book. Now the thing is, these are usually printed in paperbacks, and libraries usually buy books when they're new, so when they're hardcovers. Most reader's guides are available online from the publisher. So you can Google Little Mercies Reader's Guide, and it would probably come up.
Now we're going to take a look at a database I really like. From our home page, hover on Explore, click Research and Reading, and then click on the EBSCO databases. Right here we're going to click on all EBSCO-host databases so that we see the list of available databases. We will scroll down to L and find the Literary Reference Center. So what you want to do here is just type in the name of the book that you're reading. We're going to try Hidden Figures and see what comes up. So this is where you'll find a lot of reviews from sources for library and book professionals. So we've got Book List. We've got some fun different ones here, like the Women's Review of Books. You'll usually see Kirkus, you'll see Library Journal. So let's take a look at the Library Journal review of Hidden Figures. And from these you can get things like the names of the characters or the people in the book, and what this reviewer thought was maybe like the highlight or the crux of the book, which can be very helpful when you are putting together questions. Let's take a look at this from the New Yorker too and just see what's there. Oh, okay, so this is about the movie. You can see the names of the actresses listed in this review. So what we'll do instead is use some of the tools here in the database. We'll change relevance to the oldest date, but that gave us a bunch of incorrect results. So now we'll go to Subject and click on the book. And so now we have the oldest things written about Hidden Figures, the book. Nice. We'll go back to our basic search. You can also search for the name of authors to see if there are any biographic pieces about them, maybe interviews. And we will immediately go down and click on Margot Lee Shetterly as our subject. However, this looks like, it looks like a lot of the same stuff, just the reviews and things. No interviews. Well, let's take a look at another author who I think might be in here with lots of interviews, and that is Bill Bryson. Oh yeah, great. Let's make sure that we just choose him as the subject, and then we'll see what comes up. And oh, great, awesome. This one right here is an interview from Publishers Weekly from 1998. So if you were reading one of the books that he wrote in this era, you could take a look at this, see where his head was at when he wrote the book, what his experiences were. With interviews, often you get a little bit of the sense of humor of the author or how they speak, and that's fun to see. Now we're going to look for information just on the internet. There is so much to be found. We will take a look at Homegoing by Yagyasi, which is a fiction book. And here you'll get things from more popular sources. So we've got the New Yorker, the New York Times, Isabel Wilkerson. And we'll click on this one from NPR. I tend to really enjoy their book reviews. They often have interviews with the authors as well. And in a lot of these popular review sources, you'll get a much longer description, and you're more likely to get the reviewer's impression of the book and their opinion, which is great. Now, you can also use Google to get additional information about things you have interest in the book that you're reading. So back to Bill Bryson, let's say we were reading his book, A Walk in the Woods, and we wanted to learn more about the Appalachian Trail. So this is the Appalachian Trail website, curated by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. Gives you some info about how long it is and where it is. And maps. I love to have maps. when discussing books that involve places or travels, because you can take a closer look at like where the person was and how they got from place to place. Next, we're going to take a look at Goodreads, which is a website where people can search for books, mark the ones they've read, and get more information about books, talk about them. So let's take a look at Less by Andrew Sean Greer. Just type the title up there. And here's the page all about it. So it's going to have a description. Then down a little further, you'll see questions that people have posted and answered. And that can be really fun because you can see the things that other people who read the book are interested in or wondering about. Some authors are also on Goodreads and answer questions or post interviews. It looks like he's not a Goodreads author, but what we can do is click on his URL and go right to his website to find out more about him. And so, yep, author websites often have a bio, much longer than you could find somewhere else. They often have specific pages just for the books. Ooh, he's reading part of that book. That sounds fun.
So when I talk to you guys about books, typically like on New Book Tuesday, I try to give a little something that I think might entice you, like where I heard about it. So you can be like, oh yeah, I like that publication. Maybe I'll like this book. Or something else popular. Like you can be like, oh, I read Hillbilly Elegy and I loved that. I would love to read this book that Laura the Librarian says is something like Hillbilly Elegy. And it's really good to think about why you like a book and try to figure out how to express that so that you can tell people pretty easily about it. Did you like one of the characters in particular? And maybe a character reminds you of a friend or a family member. And also, when you're choosing books for book clubs, don't worry about if people will like it. If you think you're going to like it, they'll probably like it too. And also, when people don't like a book, sometimes that makes for the best discussion. Half the people like it, half the people don't. We got to talk about it. And I think it's also important to sometimes have conversations about hard topics. So I don't think your book club pick always have to be something light and easy. You can choose to read whatever you want, and sometimes it's more fun to read hard things with friends and then talk about them. Anyway, have fun with your book club. I hope you're having lovely reading discussions with the people in your bubble, or perhaps over Zoom or over FaceTime. And it's a great time to make sure that we stay connected, and talking about books is a great way to do that. Have a good one.